We now take a look at ARB Holdings' interim results. Joining us on the line for a look at the numbers is Billy Nishan. He's the acting CEO at ARB Holdings. Billy, thanks for your time. We've seen mining companies talk about the impact that Eskom has had on them, manufacturing companies as well. And you've been no exception. You're also a casualty of this.
We certainly have been no exception. With regard to the electrical wholesaling business, a large portion of our business has been focused, and particularly in KZN and the Eastern Cape, on the reticulation of the rural areas in terms of supplying the material that's used for those. And Eskom certainly cut back on that expenditure quite drastically in the last year and a half. So it has impacted on our data turnover and our bottom line.
Billy, you also have exposure to both the construction and mining fraternity, which of late we've seen by their results is also not a sector that's necessarily booming in South Africa. How hard have you been hit on this front?
Fortunately, we have a very diverse customer base, and I think that's really what's sort of supported, although it's a drop in turnover, but I don't think it's as severe as some of those industries have actually experienced.
Billy, you mentioned in your results that when it comes to your strategy, acquisitions are a very big part of your growth, but you haven't made any of late. When is this expected to change? Are you eyeing any new acquisitions, and where do you intend on getting the funding from, if so?
We are certainly eyeing acquisitions. We're constantly eyeing acquisitions. And the funding would really be determined, well, the strategy around the acquisition would just determine what funding we did use for that particular acquisition and the size of the acquisition.
Just on the acquisitions, you mentioned that your lighting department is better positioned to see significant growth. Are you looking to maybe bolt on acquisitions under this particular department of yours?
If you actually look at the lighting thing, it's predominantly Eurolux, and they supply into the retail sector. There's probably more opportunities in terms of expanding their product base or their product supply into their customer base. So any acquisitions would tend to be more bolt-on and are really small in nature. So we'd rather see that as sort of organic growth going forward.
Billy, you are acting CEO at the moment, and succession planning is obviously very important. Has there been word of an announcement as to when we are going to see the next CEO? Will it be you?
We're hoping to make an announcement shortly. My hat is in the ring, so I am part of the process. But yes, we hope to make an announcement shortly.
Just on shareholder confidence, your share price has only moved up by 10% year to date, despite a significant improvement over the last 3 years. But is it difficult to instill shareholder confidence in such a volatile market at the moment?
It is really, and we're quite a small cap, and we're quite tightly held, so small volumes affect our share price quite drastically. So we can see significant movements on very small volumes in any one day.
Billy, thank you so much for your time today. That was Billy Nishan, who is the acting chief executive of ARB Holdings, updating us on the company's interim results. Well, do remember that you can email us on powerlunch@abn360.com or get tweeting using the hashtag PowerLunch410. After the break, though, algae bloom. Stay tuned as South Africa's Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries will alert us to the economic impact of algae bloom and what it will have on the country. Do stay tuned.